It is time for people to get vaccinated. For those who are hesitant to go and get their first doses and their second doses. That's why I've asked the clerk of the Privy Council, who is responsible for the federal public service, to look at mandatory vaccinations for federal employees.
Justin Trudeau's faltering election campaign. Hi, I'm Brian Lilly, political columnist with the Toronto Sun. Considering that it was Justin Trudeau and the Liberals who decided when this election campaign would be called, considering that it was the Liberals who held all the levers of power leading up to the campaign, the first few days are going surprisingly badly for the Prime Minister. Just look at how he was blindsided by the issue of Afghanistan and the fact that Kabul and the rest of the country has fallen to the Taliban. Trudeau's faltered all over the place. He couldn't say whether or not he would recognize the terrorist organization as a legitimate government. One of his ministers went on CBC and said, "We'll wait and see. We'll see how they behave." And it was only after Trudeau was blasted by this, a man who supposedly has a feminist foreign policy but was saying, "We'll wait and see how people who oppress women behave," that he finally turned around and said, "No, we won't recognize the Taliban." Then there's the issue that Trudeau desperately wants this election to be about. Will there or won't there be mandatory vaccines? A Conservative leader, Aaron O'Toole, has said he won't force federal workers to be vaccinated. He says that all Canadians have a choice when it comes to their personal health care decisions. O'Toole's plan would be that if you refuse to get vaccinated, you may have extra screening measures. You may be subject to regular testing. Turns out, according to a letter released by the Chief Human Resources Officer for the federal government, that is the federal government's policy under Justin Trudeau. Trudeau's policy is the same as O'Toole's, not the other way around. But Trudeau keeps trying to say that his is mandatory, O'Toole's is not, but he won't say how that will be enforced. Will people lose their jobs? Will they be disciplined? He simply won't say. The Department of National Defence, the Public Service Agency of Canada, the biggest union in the federal government, the CBC even says they will not have mandatory vaccinations. But Trudeau says they will. No details on offer. Just trust him and vote Liberal if that's what you want. This is not a campaign that was well thought out, well planned. This is a campaign that in the first few days alone is going off the rails. Trudeau thought he had a majority lined up. It turns out that voters may have different thoughts by the time this campaign is over. Let me know what you think. Drop a line down below, leave a comment, share this on Facebook, on Twitter, and make sure you hit the subscribe button.